Hello again. So if you're brand new to tapping, we are going to go through the tapping points and the setup. So the first thing to know is that you need to get an awareness of what's going on in your body. So we'll just take a run through the body, slow down, put your feet on the ground, take a breath in. Through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Make that breath a little longer than the in-breath. And let's do that again. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And now if you'd like to close your eyes and get a sense, just close your eyes for a moment and get a sense of somewhere in the body where there might be a little bit of tension. Maybe it's somewhere in your back or your shoulders or your neck or your arms or legs. Take a few moments to notice the tension. Okay. Now I want you to open your eyes again and rate how tense that tension is. How intense the feeling is on a scale of 0 to 10. If you don't like numbers, kind of use your hand on your body like, this is the most tense I've ever been. And down here is no tension at all. Absolutely fine and dandy, thank you. And when you've got a sense of how it feels, we will go through the tapping points. Okay. So the first one is here on the karate chop, and we're going to use a setup phrase. And this setup phrase goes like this. Even though I have this tension, I love and accept myself completely and deeply anyway. And you can put any feeling in there. We'll be putting different feelings or descriptions of thoughts in the gap. So even though, then there's a gap. I love and accept myself completely and deeply anyway. Even though I have this feeling, I love and accept myself completely and deeply anyway. So let's do the tension. Even though I have this tension, and repeat after me. I'll say each phrase twice and you repeat after me and follow round as I tap at the different points. Okay? Even though I have this tension, I love and accept myself completely and deeply anyway. You tap like this if you like, or like this, or like this. Even though I have this tension, I love and accept myself completely and deeply anyway. And you can say that in your mind, but it's even more effective if you say it out loud. One more time, 3 times for the setup phrase. Even though I have this tension, I love and accept myself completely and deeply anyway. And don't worry if you don't agree yet that you love and accept yourself completely and deeply anyway. Just say the words and trust the process, okay? We're making the body feel safe. Okay, so here are the points. And we're going to use a shortened phrase from that setup phrase. This tension. So we're naming it. If you had another feeling, you could name the feeling. If you had a thought, you could name the thought. So the first point is on the inside of the eyebrow here. You can use one hand or 2 hands. And I tend to use these 2 fingers. But you can use whatever is comfortable for you and not too hard, but just a nice level of tapping that you can feel it. If you're feeling very sensitive, it might be nice just to stroke. I sometimes do if I'm feeling really sensitive. That would be fine too. But generally speaking, kind of just a gentle tap. You can feel it will be right to activate the meridians. These points are on the meridians that run through the body. And by tapping all of these points, you activate all of the meridians and bring that sense into the body of safety and paying attention to what's going on. Okay, so this tension, this tension, this tension in my body, on the outside of the eyebrow here, the side of the eye. Now under the eye, this tension on the cheekbone there, this tension. And now under the nose, this tension, this tension. Now under the mouth here, just in that dimple in the chin, this tension, this tension. I'm going to tap on the K27 points, and where your collarbone is, feel the two bumps, the bony bumps. Underneath those is usually a little indent, a little dimple. So tap here. This tension, this tension. Sometimes I'll add in one in the center of the chest here, which is at the thymus point. This tension, this tension. The next point is underneath the arm, somewhere here, underneath the arm. I'm just going to say this tension, this tension. And you can tap the other side too, this tension, this tension. And now come up to the top of the head and the crown of the head and use all 4 fingers on each hand. You can do it with 1, but with 2 is good too. This tension, this tension. And now you're going to take a deep breath in, blow it out. And see how you feel. Has the level of intensity shifted at all? And don't worry if it has or if it hasn't. Just notice what's going on. And you can rate it again on that scale of 0 to 10, when 0 is no tension at all, I'm completely relaxed, and 10 is the most tension you've ever experienced. And just have a sense of where that level is. Maybe you had a 6 or a 7 before. Maybe it's gone down to a 5 or maybe a 4 or even lower. But if it hasn't, don't worry, you're learning. So there can be more tension when we're learning because it's new. So well, let's take one more trip round for tapping points. Take a deep breath in your nose and out through the mouth. This tension, this tension, this tension in my body, side of the eye, under the eye. This tension, under the nose. Paying attention to this tension. Paying attention to this tension. Under the mouth. This tension, this tension. Now on the collarbones. This tension, this tension. On the thymus. This tension, this tension. Under the arm. This tension, this tension. Top of the head. This tension, this tension. One more time. Eyebrow. This tension, this tension. Side of the eye. This tension in my body. Under the eye. This tension, under the nose. Paying attention to this tension. Paying attention to this tension. Under the mouth. I have this tension. Collarbone, still a little tension left. Still a little tension left. Thymus. This tension in my body. Under the arm. This tension. top of their head. Letting this tension go right now. Letting this tension go right now. Letting all the tension go right now. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. And now take stock again. Notice. How do you feel? What's happened? Has the tension shifted to another part of the body, perhaps? Maybe it's dissolved away. Maybe it's still there. And if it is, accept it exactly as it is right now. We'll work more with this, and you can repeat. Go round again as many times as you need to, but do pause in between and take stock. What's shifted? So maybe you might say, this tension in my neck, this tension in my neck. And then maybe after a couple of rounds of tapping, the tension might have moved into your shoulders and maybe changed its feeling a little and dissolved a little, but it's still there. So go and say, this tension in my shoulders, this tension in my shoulders, this tension in my shoulders. Still got this tension in my shoulders. Here it is, this tension in my shoulders. Allowing this tension in my shoulders. This tension in my shoulders. I wonder how long it will stay. This tension in my shoulders. Maybe it'll go. This tension in my shoulders, maybe it won't. This tension in my shoulders. I wonder what it would feel like for it to disappear. And see how you are now. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Where are you on that scale of 0 to 10? 10 is the most tension you've ever felt, down to 0. No tension at all, feeling free and easy and wriggly and ready to go. Just notice, accept and love yourself exactly where you are right now. Maybe write it down. Come back to it later. Let it go. See you again soon.